Mommy is busy now. All of you, yeah, move. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Bread. Give me my bread.
I think I can see somebody there. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. No, Olivia, they don't like people coming on. Like, they don't like this. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on from where. Oh my God, weekends are something else. So these people have not slept up to now. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on from where. Oh my God, weekends are something else. So people have not slept up to now. Okay, so I think I'm good. So please, if you can hear me clearly, just let me know. So like I said, today we're going to be discussing essentially financials for freelancers, like how to make money. Okay, well, everything we've done from beginning to now, it was how to make money. It's now time for how to manage money. Then I think finally we'll just break down how to multiply money, because you just got to multiply money. Okay, so somehow I think we even touched how to multiply somehow, in the sense that we've been able to. How are you doing? Abimbola, good to see you. How was your weekend? How did it go? I mean, today, stress wanted to have the best of me, but I told myself that I'm going to be okay. So I had the conference today. Oh, Jesus. And I was literally not in that hall because I had a lot to do. I almost even cried. So how did your day go? Please let me know. Or should I even be holding this phone? If I hold it, will it be better? Yes, I think holding it is better. So please let me know, how are you doing? How is have you been able to create your courses as well? Like, do you have a business file already? Like something that you can actually work? Okay, awesome. That's beautiful. Okay. Mama Susie, how you doing? So good to see you as well. How was your Saturday? Hope it wasn't so stressful like mine. Even right now, I'm not sure. My head, as if my head is pounding. But I told myself, anyway, since I've given my word, let me do the one that I know how to do. The Lord will do his own. So please, as soon as you come in, just like the live. I'm just trying to check what is going on in my second device. Okay. Here's my second. Okay. So how far so far have you guys been able to keep up with the assignments? Were you able to catch up as per Saturday? Because today I shared a lot of I shared a lot of information. I remember this group, like, no matter how busy my week was, I made sure that I consistently shared. Because even from, what did they call it, the events, that I literally was sending all those things because I just knew that I was literally trapped. God have mercy on me. I've never felt like that in a very long time, because I just felt like I had an itinerary and I didn't want anybody to break into my itineraries. And sincerely, that's how I feel now, even plus my friends. God have mercy. I think I wrote about that a few days ago on my post, when my friend told me outrightly, is it not that your? So I knew that I must have stepped on several toes, because generally that means I've really not been paying attention with them or to them, because I'm actually believing for something. That's what I am. I'm believing for something. So anything in my way, I just feel like whatever it is that wants to stress me now or distract me. Okay, I remember, when did you send me that message? Please let me know. Let me know. Was it that yesterday's night? If it's yesterday night, that means you've not been. If it's that yesterday night, then that means you've not been current, because it was in reply to your message that I still shared the prompts. I even shared it directly. I didn't even, what's the word now? I even shared it directly. I didn't even maybe put the way I would have, maybe put the prompt the way I would have put the prompt. I just shared it directly. So I think there's a challenge with that. That's why, as much as possible, I advise people to check the group, because I don't like private. I don't like you reaching out to me privately when I've already created a system Let me just see. I'm coming. Give me one moment. It was you who sent me a message during the class now. Where can I get the template from, please? And I shared the template this morning. In fact, that's the only thing after I prayed and all the other things, and I just knew that I needed to rest today, I still shared the template in the group. So that means you didn't even check the group. Okay, so let me just go ahead with my conversations for the night. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about, so we said that today we're going to be talking about we are talking about making money. Now we're going to be talking about essentially managing money. And managing money is a huge one, especially for freelancers, because a lot of people confuse freelancing for salaried money, right? Freelance money is not the same thing as salaried money, right? Salaried money is sure, and then some, depending on where you're working, right? You might be lucky enough to have retirement plans and so many other or structures that might get you travel abroad and a few other things. Anyway, depending on the kind of freelance, some people actually are lucky enough to get freelance. Some people are actually lucky enough to get freelance jobs that can make them travel abroad and still give them more vacations and all that. So that's more like a full-time freelance. The only thing is that you're probably not there, but they can give you all the benefit that they give their employees. So that's why it's very important you read your job descriptions very well. So Abibola, I had dropped the template this morning. I still dropped it again when I think 4 or 5 more people entered the group. So I don't know, it's kind of now giving off something that I don't want to assume, right, about you. But then please just check again so that you can probably fix yourself properly. Okay, so back to my conversations. It was almost at the top of my mind. I don't know how I should feel about that, but then at least the good thing is that you were sincere enough to ask questions. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So essentially, I've said it over and over again, freelance money is not the same thing as salaried money. People who earn salaries, generally people who earn salaries every single time can have a shorty. They might even have, what's the word now, they might even have some beneficiaries that might be long term, like when they are retired, retirement plans and all that. Most times for freelance, it's not always the case. That's just the truth, depending on what kind of job you get. Some people can be lucky enough to get full-time freelance jobs. So those full-time, I think that was one of the ones I got in a psychiatric hospital like that, right? I got it online through Upwork. So what they did was essentially they paid me monthly, but they told me if I can stay long enough, if I stay after 6 months, if I work with them after 6 months, that they will give me the 13th salary for the year, and then they would also give me some maybe holiday benefits. But like I said, by the time we had finished talking, I agreed, okay, that this was what I wanted to do. I could do that job. They now started saying that they didn't want to pay me through Upwork, that they only use Upwork to hire and they cannot pay through Upwork. I now said, okay, that's awesome. Even if you use Upwork, you don't use Upwork, is it possible for us to set up eShore so that on that day, I am receiving my salary? As you put it on eShore, I will see that the money is on eShore while I work for you. Oga said no. So that's these are some of the things that can keep a lot of freelancers very vulnerable, in the sense that most of them will just go ahead and work with these people, and then when it's the salary day, especially because we are getting towards the end of the month, right, you just notice that those people will just disappear. So you see a lot of freelancers go through this pain. They will give you jobs, they will tell you international remote work job, then once they give you that job, they will disappear when it's time to collect your money back or pay you for the job you've done. So you see some people, especially graphic designers, video editors, they're the ones who are slammed by this back to back. Then very rarely will people who work per hourly rate will they catch those kind of persons. But me, what I will always say is, please, as much as possible, even if you meet someone on LinkedIn and you don't know the person, that's why I'm admonishing everybody. We've already done Upwork profile and all that. Refer the person, set up your Upwork profile, right? That place is more safe, right? It's called the eShore. You can even download the eShore app. before you work with anybody, you can just tell the person that, please, since both of you have a neutral ground, right, it's better to have a third party. Okay, if I don't do your job, don't release it. That's what Upwork does. Once the person complains that you did not do the job well, Upwork will come and ask you. So they will have like an intermediary. What are the milestones? Like for me, when I was working actively on Upwork, what I normally would do is, for every work I do, I will just upload it. I'll be telling Upwork, see what I'm doing. So day one, I'll do this, what I'm doing. I'll clock in my time. As soon as I enter my workstation, I'll just turn on my timer. Upwork is reading the timer, so you don't just use the timer for your laptop. Use the the timer that is on Upwork, so that there is. Hi Sophie, good to see you. Are you done with the retreats? Please, you don't have to be here, so that you don't distract yourself. Especially today, we're going to be talking about financial management. Now the thing is, the reason why I want to talk about it is that some people think it's until they have money before they start managing money. But it's better I tell you beforehand, because trust me, all of you are already in the verge of big monies, right, by the reason of you showing up. So for the people who are probably showing up for the first time, please kindly say where you're joining us from, and then if you're in the group, maybe you just joined the group in the last few days, kindly just introduce yourself. Happiness, how are you doing? Good to see you as well. Thank you so much for coming on board as well. Okay, so back to our conversation. So as much as possible, don't work for anybody until there is an advance payment. It is very, very important as a freelancer. It is very, very, very important. Just tell the person that it's a way to protect both of you. Now, if you set up your Upwork properly, you can invite the person to Upwork. The person puts it on issue. You can guarantee the person that, see, if the person gets dissatisfied at any level, that Upwork can refund their money. And yes, that's what Upwork does, right? Upwork can refund the money back to the owner. If the person says you did not do well, and then they send you a mail and they ask you, did you really do badly? Did you deliver the job? You can tell them, yes, you didn't deliver, and they will refund the money full blank. So everybody is protected. So when it comes to freelance making of money, right, it's either you correct. Okay, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you there. It's either you collect your money up front, so the person has to trust. That's why we were shouting from the beginning, building of your personal brand, niching down. So if you're probably just coming in, please go and start from day one, because you deliver yourself from foolishness, because it's possible that you get a job. You can see what happened to somebody yesterday while we were discussing international remote work, and he literally got an opportunity. He applied, and then what they sent him was, because we knew, we had already, even the day we discussed all that we discussed, he was not around. So he literally just went to embarrass himself. Now they will keep his information, and they are telling him that, sorry, they've moved on with other persons. But if he was around the day we did it, he would have saved himself from all that. Like I said, I will take out time, as soon as we're done with this camp, I'll take out time to label all the classes appropriately, so that we make sure that everybody don't miss out in any way. So back to my conversations, right? The goal is to protect yourself, because if you work without being paid, it's somehow, especially if you did not make up your mind that you wanted to work without being paid. I told you guys, one of the clients I got, in fact, that was why my Upwork, I started having like what's the word now? I started having like my body started feeling somehow towards Upwork. I had worked, what I did, like I told you guys, everything I told you now was essentially what I was doing. We had set up an issue, right? So Upwork already collected the money up front, right? So for me, every work I did, I would take it to what do they call it? My deliverables for the day. I was showing Upwork, I was showing the person. When it was time to be paid, the person disappeared. But because I did transparency, like everything I showed Upwork, everything I was doing, I suspect that Upwork had to pay me. I don't know. But eventually, I was still paid. So I didn't lose my money. But I was just imagining what has been happening to a lot of freelancers. You know, people will tell you, once you see somebody tell you, let's go to Telegram, just raise your eyebrow like this until otherwise spoken, because that's what they normally do. And I don't know why Telegram is very porous, but a lot of scammers always use Telegram. Okay, so back to our conversations for the night. So I said we have done making of money so far. So our goal is managing and multiplying. So while we're discussing making of money, we're also able to touch, I think my sorry guys, my battery. So while we're discussing making of money, we're also able to touch multiplying money, because that was why when we're talking multiplying money, I had already discussed how you should have multiple streams of income. So I said, while you are making money as a freelancer, you can find people to teach them that particular skill that you know. You can also open a business. So everybody who has joined us up onto this point has a community, has a business, has a personal brand. That's why I'm saying, because if you don't build a personal brand, people might not pay you upfront. That's just one thing a lot of people don't even see enough about personal branding, right? People don't talk about, just imagine that you probably showed up on LinkedIn and you don't post consistently. Nobody knows that your account means a lot to you, right? If you call any price and you tell the person to pay upfront because you're the one who is consistently on LinkedIn, but you don't know them, maybe some of them may reach out to you. Like somebody now reached out to me yesterday, today in the morning, with no follower, no subscriber, no nothing, and he said he wants me to work with him. Let me help him start up. He's from which country is that now? In Europe. I said, no problem, my darling. Okay, so for somebody like that, hell no way am I not going to collect upfront. I demand, so that I will finish doing work for you. Kagebo, sorry, my language means so that you run away. So that's essentially what you're going to start by doing, right? The reason why you can build a personal branding is very important, which we have already done, is because people can just see you and literally just send you their money, right? And tell you, okay, go and do this. And if as a freelancer, you must collect your money up front. You must have a particular money that must enter your account before you start anything. Sometimes you might tell them, hi Henry, how you doing? It's good to see you. But wait, I've not seen you in a huge while. Let me look at your account very well. I've not seen you here. Is this your first time? Please let me know, because I normally know everybody that enters here every day. So please guys, so we are LinkedIners. We like to show ourselves. I think I had an opportunity to preach one day in my church. After preaching, I said, Jesus, I hope I was not giving up the pride vibes. That's what LinkedIn can do to you. You just arrange all your social proof and put it ahead. Okay. So thank you so much, Henry. But I think I've not. Okay, so I figured out. Thank you so much. You're welcome on board. Okay, so like I said it again, your personal branding, right, is not just monetizable. It has trust in it. Like if you consistently say that, okay, a particular platform, that's where you want to consistently be at, people can easily just know that your account. So you see some silly people saying, give me your LinkedIn account and I'll be giving you $100 per month. When I see that, in fact, one girl did it to my account. When I wrote a post, the person came and documented it under it. I say, madam, you better delete this thing now before LinkedIn blocks you. And if LinkedIn blocks you, you might never get your account back. So when I told her that, she just quickly deleted it. But this is it essentially. If you can milk LinkedIn very well, that $100 that they want to give you per month, they are cheating on you, right? They will use your account and do all manner. When it's now time for you to start cashing out, maybe your $10K per month, your $20K per month, you cannot use your account again. And LinkedIn doesn't allow for multiple accounts. Once they ban you once, if you open another one, you're gonna be receiving that ban shortly. It's just that you don't know. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, most times as a freelancer who has chosen a particular platform, it's very easy. If you have a website, you have a platform, like any particular social media that you are consistently at least you show up and you've grown a community there and people love you there. Sometimes you have traffic. So these are part of the importance of metrics, comments and like and all that. And then they see through the comments, they are seeing there are people who know you. And that's one thing LinkedIn offers that all social media platforms don't offer. Go and check comments on TikTok. You just see somebody say, you dey crazy, you dey mad, you dey see your mouth like one more. See, on YouTube here, you just be seeing people coming inside your, what do they call it, your room and be saying baby oil and very silly things, right? But on TikTok, on LinkedIn, you can't see anything like that. In fact, the first time I saw something crazy on a live, like somebody commented on a live, in fact, it was like my community came inside my DM and say, Ma, do you think we should take down her account? This kind, everybody wanted to block the lady so that she will not survive on LinkedIn. So that's the kind of mindset people have. So when you build your personal brand, especially on LinkedIn, you're likely going to have more weight compared to other people who are building on Instagram and all that, especially those pages where people sell their accounts, right? So on Instagram, somebody can be building an account. When it gets to 20k, 50k, they will just sell it and go and open another one. If you try that on LinkedIn, you're finished. So even if somebody tells you that they will give you $500 per month to sell your LinkedIn account, don't try it, because I'm telling you the truth, the money on LinkedIn, right, you can't compare the money on LinkedIn compared to other platforms. Like, you cannot. If you build a very important, so please guys, let's celebrate him, Mr. Harry. It is Mr. Harry's first time, so please, everybody who is currently on the live and listening in, kindly just let him feel welcome. Okay, so as I was saying, so compared to other platforms, right, even if you sell your LinkedIn account for $1,000 per month, you are still at a loss, because it's possible that whoever is paying that 1k might use that account to do something negative. And once the account is blocked, if you use that same parameter, except maybe you change your date of birth, change your international passport, you have to change a whole lot of things to have another account. Use a new phone. You can't use the same phone that you probably used to open your accounts before to still open the same LinkedIn account. Sooner or later, just give them 1 month. Their system is like that. Give them 1 month or 2 months like this. You might have grown your account by 1k followers, as in you're happy that you've come back. You just see that they'll just snipe the account straight, and then you start from zero. That's why I would advise everybody, please, if you're building your personal brand on LinkedIn, you can't compare it. The buying power on LinkedIn generally, I've done ads across platforms, right? And this is, even digital marketers know that most people on LinkedIn likely buy things because they come ready. YouTube as well is the same thing. Everybody who comes on YouTube, apart from this our Nigerian brethren who come to watch movies here, but everybody who comes to YouTube is always looking for something. They are ready to learn something. So that's why I'm saying it every single time. When you're building your irresistible offer, find ways to ensure that you inculcate people of all tiers in your offer, right? Offer one thing, then different price tiers. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I wanted to be sure that I'm good here. So that's very good. Thank you so much, everybody, for welcoming him as well. So that's essentially what I'm saying. So if as a freelancer, part of my financial management is not to lose money at all, as much as it's within your power. Yes, you can trust your clients, but if you have built your own personal brand, somebody can send you money ahead of time. Like, I've had some cohorts where people paid for the challenge I normally would organize every month. People paid for it, and when it was time for them to resume, they were so busy. Then they told me that they were going to come back for the next cycle. Now, what will make anybody leave 50k, leave 20k, leave 100k? There's even a particular lady who paid me almost 150, because she paid in. For me, my price tiers for people who are outside the country, I don't charge them the same thing with Nigerians. So Nigerians, on an average, sometimes I could do 25, 50, then depending on what I'm going to do. So for people who are abroad, sometimes $100 and all that and upwards. So the person paid in pounds. So her own interpreted to like 100 and something. And she just told me, when it was time to start, she just told me, hey, that her daughter just gave birth to. Let her just face her daughter and do omugo. When she's done, she's going to come back. Now, the only reason why anybody would tell you that in this day and age, with all the financial challenges that is going on, is because you have built a personal brand and the person knows that you cannot run away. So even if she comes back now, when she's done nursing her daughter, we'll still start from day one. Because what I told her was that she said she probably just wants, after every class, she just wants a personalized approach, like the way that I'm going to follow her, because she wants to make sure that she does everything that was asked to do. She just wanted me to just pay a little attention to her. This was like 2 months or 3 months ago, and she has not called me to ask anything, to say when am I going to be ready. And I understand that omugo is generally 3 months, so if she has not come back, I know that she's really busy. So So that's what your personal brand can give to you, right? Everybody now knows on a particular platform. Now, I'm not insisting on any particular platform, but I will say again that it's always safer to build your personal brand on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a place where they read mad people every day. In fact, from your comments, if they notice that you say silly comments every single time, your account is at risk. They will take you out, right? Rabia, it's good to see you. How are you doing today? I'm so excited to see you as well. Thank you so much for the likes. Okay, so please, everybody who is currently on this live, just tap on your screen so that we can also get our likes almost equivalent to our viewership. Okay, awesome. So that's essentially what I wanted to start with. So the goal is, in managing money, first of all, try ways to minimize losses. So I've told you that when you build your personal brand now, you can now tell the person. In fact, I've gone to a lot of people's service pages. I mean, some of these you guys LinkedIn faves, and I've literally seen people say it straight. In fact, when you want to book their one-on-one, if you don't pay ahead of time, their Calendly will send you a rejection mail. That's what happens. So these are part of the systems we're going to be doing. At least before, in 3 days, we're going to talk about systems. I found a friend who does business automation. So that will be the final part of all our camp, our challenge. We're going to do business automation. So that means once anybody just clicks on any of your business opportunities, they will go from one place to the other, meet you on every platform, down to your website straight, and come back. I'll just find out. I'll talk with him today and see how I can bring him on board, at least within the next 3 days, so that now I have a holistic business person. So if you've missed, please, like I said, if today is your first time, please, there's no worries. Just go from day 1, day 2, day 3. If you have any questions, just always put it in the general group. Right, put it in the general group and tag me on the questions. Just leave it like that. Don't bother about private messages, because I will answer. I always prefer to answer in the general group, so that if there's anybody who is currently still having some of those challenges, you can get help. So you can find an accountability partner as well. That's one thing I probably didn't emphasize. For the next people who are coming into camp, I would have to put it as part of. Let me even write it down now, so that people can pick their accountability partners ahead of time, because that's the only thing that will help you. But I will really celebrate happiness, like, despite the fact that I didn't do that, have full document from day 1 to day I think today is day 23. So from day 1 to 23, happiness already has a full document, her community, everything. She did everything, because I went through it. I just need to beef up her document so that it can be something that she'll keep forever, whenever a business opportunity or anybody who wants to partner with her business. So we moved people away from just being freelancers, just looking for jobs, to be able to be people who can do businesses, either business, coaching business, or selling digital products, or any span of it. We've done all of them. Like, we touched everything when we're doing making money. Okay, so now what we're doing is managing money. So I told you, part of the ways to manage money is make sure you don't lose it. And the goal of building your personal brand is that you call the shots. So somebody comes to your page and says, I see that you say you can offer this. I'd like to have that offer. Lovely. You already have your irresistible offer. The day we did irresistible offer, you already have your irresistible offer. You just go through it. You send the person your offer. Once the person is done, bam, we're already starting financial management. So please, part of our assignment, let me give assignment, is to have a dollar account. Okay, so have a dollar account, have a seller account. That's the second one. So I'm hoping that everybody will be seeing that. Good evening, amazing people. Okay, I've seen so many amazing people here. Irene, you're welcome. Brenda, good to see you as well. Okay, who else have I missed? Thriving digital mom, Mrs. Olamide, thank you so much for coming out as well. I celebrate you. So I said our assignment for today is you're going to open a dollar account, a seller account, right? A dollar account. Seller is SELA. Let me write it with my second phone, because once you write your irresistible offer, once you've sent your irresistible offer, The next thing you're going to put in under the irresistible offer is your account details. And once the person pays for it, we're going to set up, like, that's what I said. Once I bring that other guy, we're going to set up like a sales funnel. So once the person clicks this, the person clicks this, person clicks. So you're not the one that somebody will enter your DM and say, excuse me, ma, you were saying something about the bootcamp. Can you tell me more? So you can see that some of you who probably came into this camp by entering my DM, once you say, can you tell me more, I just send you the form, everything. By the time you read number one, your name, you're just reading, you're just thinking that, I don't know this one about myself. I don't. So everything that was in the form you filled, we did all of them again, so that if you just scribbled one, you're getting. So I was looking into what some of you were feeling. I was just laughing out my lungs. Please, so day 1 and day 2, and day 3, yes, day 1 to day 3 will help you decipher all those things, right? Everything. Then we did a full course on why, on one of our lives. So you just see, I wrote the stop burnout, the anatomy of your why. That day we sat down. In fact, somebody got an international job from that. Not even an international job. An international job is small. She got an international collaboration. They decided that they want to fund her idea because of how she told it. And she sent me a long message. All those things are going to be on my website when it finally goes live, because of how she just sent me a DM and said, Mama, I've been all around the streets. I've not really paid attention to why I'm doing what. All I was paying attention was to make money. And after that class that day, I went back and I rewrote my personal brand story. I also rewrote my vision, my mission. And once I jumped on the call, an interview, and I told them the story, because that day we also did story, how to curate your brand story. Okay. And one of the things I'm going to say again, if your brand story does not make you cry, right? If your brand story, the one that you want people to believe in you from, does not make you cry, you're actually just starting. You never even see anything. Okay, so if that brand story, you don't believe in what your brand can offer, it's already a red flag. So I'm hoping that everybody who has curated all their brand stories, so if you submitted your business documents and everything, and you know that their brand story that you wrote it has scale leg, right? You might want to look at it again and come up with something better. Because most times your brand story will give you that energy. Some of you, the reason why you get tired, the reason why you don't show up, the reason why you think building online is such a force or a big deal is because you don't have any story. Nothing is driving you. My goodness, if you know the Pepe I have seen, the Pepe me I have seen, I swear to God, I just told myself that, right, I have to break out. I've told myself over and over again, see, people must get it around me. I said that it was a swear. I think I wrote it in my five days ago in my LinkedIn post. I said, I've made up my mind that there's no, if anybody will follow me, right, you can never be small. It's like a swear. It's a swear word. I don't know how it's going to be. So sometimes when I sit in a place and people are just saying the same things, I'm like, I used to tell myself, Jesus, how did I get here? Because I know that every minute matters. I'm always devising something. So there's no way you can jump on a call with me as a client and you not feel that energy in my voice and you not want to work with me. It's almost impossible. But then some of you, because you've not sat down and paid attention enough to your brand story, to your brand name, and how it interprets the vision you want to answer, the vision, the problems you want to solve. Even when you jump on a call with people, you're scared. You're scared of your client that is with your money, that you're supposed to be doing agbero, that you're supposed to be saying, Oga, when are you going to pay me? Make I start this thing. In fact, 3 days I've given you this job. That's why some of you jump on calls and you're scared. You jump on interviews and you're scared. My man, I'm like, scared of what? Scared of what? And these are things that you really need to fix now. Especially because one of the things I literally sat down and concluded, I think was yesterday when I was meditating, I just realized that what we have as a major challenge in this generation is distractions. So you're distracted with the things that you really don't need. And then when it's time for you to probably represent those things that you need, you figure out that you cannot even represent. You're so scared, but you've been watching movie. Instead of you to just pay attention to your brand and say, what is it that I'm going to do for a client? Now, if a client come like this. So like I told you guys, when we did LinkedIn profile in our features session, we talked about setting up your feature session with your one-on-one consultation. I'm not sure we did that. Please, your feature session should have a one-on-one, whether you want to make it free or priced. So when you set up your seller, your, what's the name of that account now, Calendly especially, please put it on your feature session. Let people click it and book to meet with you. See, have interviews all the time. So your feature session should have consultation. Have it often, especially now that you're just starting out. Go to people's feature session, book on their Calendly, book on their Calendly and jump on a one-on-one call with them, even if it's 15 minutes. Right? Just go ahead and book. Once you find, what's the word? Okay. So just go see, find all those international guys, businesses, like those guys are top guys. Once you see free consultation, so this is what I'm telling you guys, everybody, I gave you guys an assignment 2 days ago, so by now you should be getting your international clients if you did it. But like I said, there's no pressure. I understand that you're trying to do a lot. For some of you who are slow, there's no challenge. See, just take your time, right? Even though I would have loved that also for me, I get my results in the sense that I can use you to brag with and all that. You can already see that for implementation, I'm already bragging with Happiness and how she was able to hand over her full documents from her resume to everything, right, based on what we have done so far. But I'm still going to say that it will be good that I get results from you guys if you do. But even if you want to let it sink in, right, just let the knowledge sink in. But just know that these are part of the things you can do. So you can check from some of these foreigners who are big guys, right, and you check their free. If you see, maybe you can just type free consultation. Let me even do that now and see if it will appear on Boolean search for LinkedIn. So what you do is you try yourself, right? Okay, so I'm already seeing a lot of companies writing free consultations, free consultation, people, humans. So just type the free consultation, see works. Right? So just type free consultation. Once you type free consultation, you see all the people that, whether they are foreign, they are international, they are national, just check their bio, see how they discuss for the content, for those who create content, right? If they have something reasonable that you think you probably need to learn, you can just probably schedule free consultation once a week. Just schedule that at least you tell yourself that you must talk to one person in your niche at least once a week. Sorry guys, my second phone is about to die. Okay, so you can say free consultation at least once a week. You tell yourself that you can jump on it. Or Google Form to book a call is good, but Google Form, the reason why it's a challenge is that you cannot schedule directly to your calendar. So somebody can book a call with you, but you will not know. But that's why Calendly is very good. Let me see whether I can type here. My second phone is dead. Okay, let me just use a Q&A on it. This is the name. So when you use Google Form, let me just, yes. So can you guys see this? Can you see the name? Can you see the name? That's what I'll be doing now. Any name I call that is strange, I'll just put it there. So if you can see the Calendly, just say yes. The thing with Calendly is that once anybody clicks on your calendar, right, it connects you. When you're setting up your Calendly, yes, okay, awesome, thank you so much. When you're setting up your Calendly, right, you will even add your Zoom account, your Zoom details on it. Add your Zoom details on it. They'll ask you all those questions. So once somebody clicks on the Calendly to book a time, they will send you a mail. They will automatically create a Zoom link for the meeting. They will keep reminding you and keep reminding the person. Like, let's say 2 days to the event, they remind you, they remind the person. 3 days, they remind you, they remind the person. 4 days, they remind you. So me, when I first came out, right, I had imposter, right? I was just thinking that maybe I didn't know much and all that. So what I did was I leveraged all that. My dear, all the people I jumped on call, initially I was excited. Hey, Oyibo. When I just booked for this, they say free consultation. Jesus, I said almost all those calls. When I jumped on the call, yeah, I ended up taking. I was the one teaching the person. I was just teaching them. Oh, sir, you can do this for your business now. Oh, sir, you can do this. You can do that. You can do this. You can do that. When I kept teaching them, I just knew that these people are using my head. Instead of me being the one to learn from you, I just realized that I had nothing to learn from these people. In fact, they were telling me, oh, wow. When I tell them my results, they say, oh, wow. How did you do it? How did you do it? And I now knew that, So these people, so what I want to do is, after you've learned all the things you've learned in this camp, right, please go ahead. In fact, while you're learning, when you're watching some of those videos, just go ahead and go to another place. Jump into another place. Just be entering the calls. It will help you break imposter, especially when you realize that you're in a meeting, you're already talking about it, especially because you've done it for yourself. Somebody asks you, tell me about yourself. You start with your brand story. But the thing is, I'm a medical doctor by training. I know you'll be shocked, but I suddenly all of a sudden became dissatisfied when I suddenly had my kids. I knew I needed to do more for myself. And then here were a few things. I saw so many challenges. A lot of people are confused. They seem to magnify this whole money thing. And I've done business all my life. I'm talking about nothing less than 2 decades. And now I just feel like I need to give back. And I found ways to give. Okay, so far I've been able to attend to over 40,000 persons. Like, they've met my event at one point. They've registered. They've said yes to me. And then I've been able to have over 700. When you're talking to people, this is how they will open their mouths. But if you don't do all these things I've taught you guys till today, anytime you go to those places, you'll just be looking like you don't know what you're doing. So that's why I'm begging you that by now you're already arranging your story in your head. While you are building yourself mentally, please jump on those calls. You see that more than half of the time, some of you might even get jobs, virtual assisting jobs. Like I've told you guys, you know the etiquette of meetings, right? Every video meeting, ensure that you are prepared video. Don't book any call with anybody and you're telling the person that, okay, you don't want to do video, or sorry, you're busy. Don't do that to yourself. You are injuring your brand. So you make sure that you turn on your video. Once you meet the person, tell the person, okay, this is hi, good to see you today. And all those guys, especially those international guys, they always do video calls. They've taught them about video meetings. You will never see anybody, especially if I was a virtual assistant, right? Now one call to the other, I go just the book. By the time I tell you my story and how I said I became a virtual assistant, about how I'm passionate, then I can just ask you, sir, please could you tell me about generally how your itinerary is? Have you been working with so and so? Tell me more about how your work has been. Is it been easier? Do you think you need any help? I'm telling you, some of you at the end of those meetings, you will literally leave that call being paid. Okay, so back to our financial management again. Okay, well, the thing is, right, when it comes to internet, let me just answer this one quickly before I go. When it comes to internet, right, this is what I use over here. I hope I don't cut this thing. This is what I use over here, right? For MTN, for me, I don't know, it's just maybe they jinxed me or something, but I trust MTN. I cannot explain it, right? And I'm not doing any advert for them, right? I just trust MTN. What I did was I bought 5G. 5G is usually very fast. And broadband, I bought broadband 5G. If you're not financially ready, all you have to do is maybe in your community, right? Or if there's an international library anywhere around you, like close to my house, we have an international library. The US has has their liaison office. That's an opening. Like the US has their, there's something they even call itself. Has I can't say it's embassy. It's not the US embassy, but anybody who wants to travel abroad, they have their opening right beside my house. So if I get so tight in quotes, which I've never been, I just know that I will just go there. Once you go there, you just maybe fix your hotspot. So pay attention to national libraries and libraries that pay, and that's actually the Abuja library for us around this place. They hosted the US, and so that place just generally has free Wi-Fi. Once you just come, you turn on your Wi-Fi and you use. But if it's for Nigerian products, I bought broadband 5G, and ever since I started using it, that's what I've been using for all my events, all those events that we were doing weekly, back to back, and that we never really had a challenge. And I don't think we had any day where network probably dealt with us mercilessly. Okay. I don't think I had any event. Okay, I just sorry. Somebody sent me a message and my second phone is dead. Okay, so I'd never really had a bad time. So broadband, you can just call broadband 5G, just broadband. You're likely going to have, yes, Abimbola liaison office, yes. So for that's in Abuja here. So you might want to pay attention to places like that if you have it around your area, or you can check the National Library. They usually will have Wi-Fi's, but I don't know how good that might be. But as much as possible, please try and look around your area. Find places where there's constant lights, constant power. I think ALX has their office in Abuja too, and they said that there's free Wi-Fi there, but I've never gone there because I don't really, as much as possible, I try to, I'm in that phase of my life where I don't need external interface anymore. I just want to be able to synthesize some of the lights that I have, and then I need more implementation than stepping out. But if I was a single girl, of course I know what can ensue when you start going out excessively, especially where freelancers are and people are talking money and all that. Please, like I said, if you're a young person, pay attention to community. And by community, I'm not just talking about the community you build, I'm talking about collaborations too. And some of those collaborations, you can find them in those kinds of office and setups. You just go there, you see somebody who has probably, like me, when I started my master's, I was going to the library every day. I'd made up my mind, right? I'd just given birth. But I told myself I'll be going to the library every day. And I met somebody who was making almost, was it $50,000 per month or so? So we talked. There were many things he helped me navigate for that season. But then, you just have to, except you don't, if you trust yourself, right? But if you're a single person, which is not bad. In fact, for me, how I navigated that season was because I was very lucky that there was another very single girl that was always around me, and then somehow both of them they now eventually became very super close. So it helped me and prevented any form of extreme relationship. So my mom used to say it all the time. So let me translate it. It says that there's no relationship between a man and a woman except in marriage. If not, if you relate with anybody, you marry the person. Hey, but I've realized it now that humans are generally emotional beings, and if they see that you're likable, you're fine, you are very intelligent, mostly. So I'm just saying that generally for anybody, but please find spots like that and work in packs. That was part of the things I said I was going to also discuss today. Please, on LinkedIn, find people you can collaborate with. Enter people's DMs, even if they are small creators as you. Some of you deceive yourselves a lot, right? You just see a big creator and you're there dancing in their comment section, but there's somebody who is probably your own level, whom you can join forces with, right? To improve your reach, improve your community. You can tell the person, do you have a community? The person says, Zimba. Okay. You don't have to stress the person because that might not be his trend. But you can say, I see that you can do this. Is it possible for us to liaise? If you can teach email management and teach this one, me, I can teach this and this. I know much about community building. I've been taught, I've been trained on community building. I've been trained on this. I have a full business document. Is it possible we can collaborate together? You can collaborate with 1, 2, 3, 4 persons. And please, well, the good thing is if you've been following the classes, that means your vision is clear. Nobody's about to confuse you about what you plan to offer or not offer. So you can literally find help when necessary. So I'm also advising that for anybody as well. Please don't work alone. I've said it again. That was what I said in my first class, right? I said if you go late to any place, the first thing you should do when you go late to any particular place is to first of all find people and join forces with them. Right now, me, I'm also believing for like dangerous forces. I don't want people who are relying on my energy. I want people who can match my energy. Even though it's unfortunate that I rarely see people like that, but I still don't mind. I'm very patient. I'm looking for them every day on LinkedIn. Somebody that can, if I collaborate with, I know that this one, the person's mouth is sharp, my mouth is sharp. If we are sharing money or sharing opportunities, I will not feel like I'm robbed. Okay, I will not feel like I'm robbed. That's also how to do collaboration. You don't purposely go into partnership where you feel you're the one giving everything. If not, you can start looking down on the person, and unfortunately, no man was wired to be looked down upon. Sooner or later, there will be fights. So make sure that you collaborate with somebody you honor, right? If the person agrees, that you're good, because likely the person is a bit better than you in him. But if you find somebody like that, or you can find your friends who you can encourage to come on LinkedIn. That was how I started the phoenixgateshq community. Truthfully, I encourage my people who were my WhatsApp status, some of my classmates, my church members. That was how we started phoenixgateshq. Almost all of them now, I don't know where they are, because after a while they fizzled out. But the beautiful thing was that as I was pushing them, I was finding my feet. In fact, when I started, I didn't even know anything. I didn't know Shingbang. I told you people, even the first 5 jobs I'm not sure I know exactly what I told them that made them hire me, right? But I'm still saying this now so that you understand the place for community building, in the sense that your energy, like, you can easily be propelled beyond what you would have wanted to do with yourself. Because by the time you remember that somebody is depending on you for lights, for sometimes money and many other things, you arrange yourself. Okay, so let's go back to our financial management. So I said, as much as possible, have already many other things. So let me write other possible. So if you have a dollar account, kindly just state the dollar accounts you have. So this gray is a very good one. Let me put it by my side so you can open. For the assignment, I said all of you must open a dollar account, right? Let me move this cursor. Why is it not moving? It's not moving. Wahala. So you can open a gray account. So if you don't have a dollar account, open gray. So yeah, so gig is also part of them. Hey Gertrude, good to see you. It's been a while. Okay, awesome. Gig pay. So keep listing so that everybody can also just find anyone that is very convenient for them. Then you can also do wise. Like that particular job I wrote for you guys, their own is mandatory. Once you get the job, like me and my friends, when we got the job, they insisted that we should open a wise account. Now the advantage of gray is that when gray opens your account, they'll even give you an international location. Me, I've not sat down to probably even reason through it whether that thing is supposed to be the right thing to do. I mean, you open an account with somebody and they are giving you that your address is somewhere in the US. But that's what gray does. Gray can give you an international address as well. I think they give you their own address. That's the address of where they are located. That's what I think, but I don't know. All I know is that when I opened my gray account, they gave me an international address. So everybody keep listing. Oh. So now that's what I'm saying. If you've not done all the assignments up to now, like you've not created your irresistible offer, you don't have your pricing tier. Yes, Pioneer is a very good one too. If you don't have your pricing tier and all that, maybe let's say somebody enters your DM and the person is telling you, so how much do you charge? And you're just doing, that's how the person now say, please just go ahead with the work. I'm going to pay you. You just see that at the end of the day, the person will carry your money and run away. So that's what we hear a lot from most freelancers. In fact, I've seen somebody who posted on LinkedIn and the person was dragging somebody and said, please, if people see her anywhere, they should cancel they should report, blah, 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 blah. I've worked 3 times. I'm like, how will you work 3 times and you've not been paid and you're feeling bad? Instead of you to be sorry for yourself that you're being stupid, like you did the first project, the person told you, oh, lovely, oh yeah, do another one. 3 times. You are building your personal brand. You're the one that people knows, but people don't know the person because the person's account looks rickety. And you kept doing more work. In that case, you shot yourself on the foot. So part of the things you write in your document, like your offer document, is to say that please, no work will commence without at least an upfront payment. So it's left for you to decide whether you want an upfront 20%, upfront 40%, upwards 50%, upwards 100%. Some people will say that they want 100%. If your personal brand is excellent, right, and you cannot even start dragging with anybody, like for us, what we do when we do those challenge is 100%. Okay, so you can't jump into the group until you've paid the 100%. We don't do part payment. So that's why most people like that, their personal brand is already super good. That's why I told you guys I've been able to show you all the financial tiers and how you can increase the stem of your income. You can decide to run a challenge for people specific in your own niche. That's also part of the things. Okay, I'm here. We'll get to that. Okay, awesome. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that as well. So, like I said, today is more like the introduction of financial management. But I was able to take you guys to understand, first of all, for those who came in late, we're able to discuss how that freelance money income is not the same thing as salaried income. So if you are getting 10,000 this month, $10,000 this month, $20,000 this month, nobody say you have to go and buy a cow. Every month you're not the same. Okay, depending on how well you were able to diversify your income. So I'll admonish everybody, please, if you have communities, open your YouTube account now. Don't waste like some of us. If you know the paper I saw, that's why I'm even trying to make sure that everybody gets it right. If you know the paper I saw, so that you will not see the paper I saw. Okay, so if you have a community, ensure you have a YouTube account. That's another way to diversify your income. So for some of you, you probably have not seen our YouTube class. That's why some of you are still bearing your names, except maybe your personal brand name. That's your name. Let's see, like Abimbola now that I'm seeing. That means whatever you do, you offer across platforms. That's, you offer Abimbola as an offer. This kind of personal branding is the name for everything you're offering, like the deal you're giving, and it makes sense, right? There's no challenge about it. But I'm just saying this now so that a lot of us can stretch. So when we taught content creation, I don't know if I emphasize you starting your YouTube channel and a few things you might want to pay attention to, so that all those things you're posting, like what I used to do is, if I post a content on LinkedIn, I just ask myself questions like, how can I make this content a video, right? How can I make this content a video? And I can just take one part of the content and just come up with something. Maybe one line in the written content can just be the video inspiration for the week. So depending on how free I am for that week, I've not been free. I can't wait for this 30 days challenge to finish so that I can get back my life, right? But I'm just trying to tell you a few things I now want to do. So ensure that you're diversifying your income, right? That is part of financial management. So we said freelance income is not the same thing as salaried. So you might earn $10,000 this month, and then the next month you will not even see shing bang. So all these people that are saying how I made 5,000, I got a $5,000 deal, my dear, tell them account statements first, please. I want to check something. You see that most of them have already spent it, and that's the problem, because most freelancers are not taught financial management. So if you're generally a very you spend anyhow, like for me, I rarely buy things. I don't know how to explain it. In fact, it's one of the pride I have. Like, I rarely buy things. I can count how many things I bought the whole year, and some purpose. And as soon as I started making those huge monies, first of all, it was my studio, first of all, that I wanted to upgrade. And that's what most freelancers will do. Like, what part of the things that Abimbola is asking about internet access and all that. Those are the things you should put on your budget. So I told you that this is the final phase, right? So we're going to talk a whole lot about things that you need, so that when you are charging people, because part of you charging people is also that so that you can maintain your workstation, right? So that those monies that you're going to charge people is to maintain your workstation, like the excellence of your workstation. You know that there are some laptops that are going to make, if you're like a web designer and a graphic designer, a video editor, you know that there are some laptops that are liability. So you are working on a laptop and all of a sudden it shuts off. That should already be part of your plans. So for me, when I decided that, okay, I'll start doing content creation as part of my pillars of making money, I knew that I needed an iPhone, like ASAP. I just knew. So, and I asked myself, what kind of iPhone do I want? What grade of iPhone is the best, right? And when I researched, I found out that iPhone has not improved on its camera since 12 Pro Max. I just, okay, anywhere from 12 Pro Max to 16 Pro Max, anyone is something that I would want to have, because whatever it is, I want to make sure that I document my process, because now I'm becoming very interested in content creation, even as I make money as a freelancer, even as I coach students. So you can see that everything is multiple streams of income playing out. So every time you make money, I'll say it over and over again, the monies you make are not necessarily your money, it's your business money. Okay, so we're entering into deep finances right now, right? Any money you make is not your money, it's your business money. So I know that, oh, maybe you just did run a course and people paid you, like, let's say 5 million naira, and you're already buying shawarma every day. Don't worry, all of us are there, but you don't want to do that to yourself, because essentially that money that you earned is not really your money, right? Because there are many things you need to update your processes. So I will say it again, maybe I'll add another assignment. Apart from the international account that you're going to open, please, I will want you to write a list and a budget of tools that you think you need as a freelancer. Let's do it now, so that any money that comes, right, from next month, next 2 months, next 3 months, depending on when you start making money, it will be easier for you to spend it rightly. So we're going to make a list. If you need a light, let me show you guys one of the ones I have here. Okay, so I bought like 3 lights. My children have destroyed I bought like 3 lights. My children have destroyed one already, so I already know that I still have to buy more. Then I think my house, I think I have several lights, like on literally all corners. But some of you might not have that opportunity. Maybe your room is not generally well lit, so it means that you're going to need more lights. So this particular one is 800 LED. Then I don't know, I can't remember the name of this, but I took a picture when I went to buy it. I actually made a research and I took a picture and I got it. I had to buy a new camera, an iPhone. That one was part of my budget, but when I saw the camera, I just went for the camera. Then God sent me an iPhone. I think I told you guys when somebody decided to just get it for me. I had to buy an internet source, because for this particular 5G that I was telling you guys about, you see a cord. Once you connect this cord directly to your laptop, it will reduce, it's called fiber, it will increase the speed of the network as well. So it will not be the same thing with people who are just connecting Wi-Fi. So those are part of the things that you'll be paying attention to. So I've called different things, but what you want to do is just check for toolbox or toolkits of a freelancer, then mention your own particular niche, so that you know the things you need, so that when money comes in, you know outrightly that money that comes in is not your money. There are certain things you need to upgrade. If you need to upgrade your house where necessary, maybe you want to do POP just to suit, because you cannot be charging somebody $1,000, then you come into a meeting, then your wall is patchy, do you understand, your place is looking somehow, and you want to charge the person $1,000. Of course, thank God for the opportunity to use green screen. And then for green screen, for you to use green screen effortlessly, let me try it. Hey, even though I don't like that green screen, God help me, right? Is the last, for you to use green screen, I've already pressed it already. The background must be pure white for it to cut seamlessly. So you can see that above my head, the green screen cuts seamlessly, because my house is a white. So make sure you see where my TV, the side of my studio where I have a TV, is going to be doing some funny things. But when you want to use a green screen, make sure that your background is at least plain and one color, better still white. So let me try using a photo. Okay, so let me try something. Okay, this is my content creation phone, so I don't really have much options. But let me post one of the pictures I took while I was I was preparing for some of my events. So you can see that nobody might even, I can even live here and you not know that I'm not here. You just think that the life was frozen, and it's because the green screen, you can see that it's cut through my hair very neatly. And then there are most of those provisions, especially for StreamYard. If you want to use a StreamYard for your meeting, or Zoom also gives you an opportunity to blur your background, gives you an opportunity to also put another background entirely. So I'll say it again. It's people will know that it's not. In fact, I'll say it again. Fake backgrounds is not it. It's not given. Fake backgrounds don't really give. It gives that you're trying to cover something, which is still okay. When you're building your your brand, we said A is for authenticity, so it means that you must make sure that anything that people are seeing are as real as it gets. I've jumped on a call before on LinkedIn when I came in newly with I can't even, should I even say the person was a billionaire? I've jumped on a call before with a billionaire. What he did was, as soon as I got into the call, I said, which kind of background is this? That's what I was just looking at the guy. If you see how clean this man was. And the man now said, I'm sure you don't even know who you probably jumped on the call with. I said, no, I'm not aware. Like I told you guys, that thing I told you guys was exactly what I did. I just found somebody who looked touche and I said, let me jump on a one-on-one. I just saw this man stood up and he was carrying up. If you see aesthetics in his what do they call it? In his if you see the aesthetics in his studio, I was not even wondering, how did this guy even agree to jump on a call with me like this? He just said, no, all these are real. For real. He will carry one and just show me, this is the map of the world. I've traveled this. I currently have like 50 bookings. One the guy was just telling me, as a newbie on LinkedIn, I started having headache. But after everything, he now said, oh, that he's gonna see. Because then I used to look for speakers for my events all across the internet. That thing really ate me. Like, in fact, my events were like my life. But right now I realize that I have spent more time for that event, such that I didn't really build structures like what I am doing right now for my community. That's why I took out time and told myself, okay, even if we're going to take break, let's intensify here, so that anybody who comes into the community afterwards already has a curriculum. The only thing that I have to do now is to create a, what did you call it? Is to create a workbook. That's the only thing for the people who are going to be joining the cohort next month, because next month I want next month to be my content creation month. So I probably might put it mid-month or ending of next month. They will already have like what do they call it, a workbook. So as you're entering, we're doing the classes, you're writing into the workbook already. Okay, so the day we do personal branding, quickly your brand story, you're going to every day we'll be submitting it for those who agree to submit. Like I said, I will, for those, of course, for people that have paid me money, I will make sure that I sit on them to submit. That's what, in fact, on our boot camp we normally even do daily calls. Our WhatsApp, then there's no peace for the weekend. But I told myself I don't want to, that's my personality, and I don't think it's fair for me to just transfer it to everybody. That's why I'm being patient with all of you. But please, if you've missed classes, just sit down and do the right thing. Everything you're finding here is standard, plus my stories, my experiences, so that you don't experience this over again. I would just be ashamed if somebody comes again and posts and says that they work with somebody and all of a sudden the person disappeared and the person did not pay the person. I will not even answer you, God knows. Or they will be saying things like they sold their LinkedIn account and now the person refused. Maybe the person said that they should pay for only 1 month and now the person has refused to return their account. The word is Ngozi Kamad. Okay, so I've told you guys, for the people who have been coming, I've been using that phrase a lot. It's for people. Ngozi is somebody who likes gist a lot, but at this point she cannot help you because this information is above her pay grade. Okay, so like I said, we talked about essentially how freelance money is inconsistent. So that's why you need a solid budget. So like I said, part of the assignment I said we're going to do from today is that the first assignment, first off, is that we said we're going to create all those international accounts and just have them ready to work with anybody. Then the next thing we're going to do is that we are going to create a budget, not a budget of how we spend our money. It's more like, no, let's say a list of what we need. What would you need for a 5-star service, so that when you're charging somebody $1,000, you can put your mouth and say 1,000, because when they see you, even the way your skin is glowing, they will say you should say now 1,000 you want collect, you should say you know go collect $5,000 and all that. So you just have to start looking what you charge. That's even the first thing, the first principle of charging, right? You cannot charge somebody $1,000 and after charging the person, then you're telling the person, sorry, my laptop, sorry, network, sorry, NEPA take light, for those of you who are from Nigeria, you know that should be far from your personal brand. And for me, that was one of the first things I had concluded. Even while I was doing our events every week free of charge, I never, in fact, one particular lady, I went into her room and she was saying, hey, Nigeria. I said, madam, if you don't have money to buy the best network ever, just say it. Don't just leave Nigeria out of it. Of course, it means that the basic network might not satisfy, because LinkedIn is an international platform. Even here is an international platform. So if I tell you guys that the reason why I will not come in a particular day is because something happened to our power, it's possible that something can happen to the power, but I have to have alternative plans. And the day I don't have plans, it's me. It's on me, not on any country, because you have to find a way if you want to represent your. So I'm just saying it now. Why be your personal brand? Let's say you organize a meeting and something like that happens, and you're now telling the people, it's my country. Do you think anybody will want to work with you? They will say this one. Before the day we want her to submit one particular deadline, and the only thing should be saying is that something power outage. So those were part of the things that I made sure I avoided. When it came to coming at the exact time I had slated, I do that. When it comes to ensuring that I have alternate sources, in fact, for those meetings, I never had. In fact, most of them I just set up a gem. Even if it was a free meeting, I knew what I was aiming at. I knew it was my personal brand as well. I set up alternate power source as it's going on. I'm ready. So throughout the event, that's what my husband used to do there. Once it's 5 o'clock, my husband will just turn on the gem, and then we do all that I do. Once I'm done, I turn it off, just so that I don't leave myself at the mercy of any external, because I know that it's an international event. Okay, so that's one of the things you might want to pay attention to. If you post and you're castigating Nigeria, I'm just saying it to all of you who have the habit of doing it, maybe because you are used to TikTok. I've seen somebody do that madness. I think one lady did it the other week. I think we're all complaining about it here. You castigate your country and you expect that people will take you seriously when you probably make an offer. You're joking, because that same excuse you gave. And I eventually found out that the person's company is actually a HR company, and you said you went through 2,000 people and you did not see one talent. They already, in fact, most of the people who understood the conversation in the comment section were already saying, madam, they didn't even know it was her company that does that. Me, it was after she said that I went to research. And when I researched it, I said, Jesus, this woman is even a HR. How can you shoot yourself on your foot without shooting yourself on the foot? It means that anybody who probably hires you knows that you will not do any deep work. So when it comes to all those, what did they call it? All those things that can be, what's the word? It's a particular name I want to say a particular name. All those things that can be controversial, please stay away from it because of your personal brand, so that you not go and you now say something that can affect you. Even me, I wrote it for her in that particular comment section. I say, madam, I even told her, I said, I hope this thing does not affect your personal brand. And guess what? And I was just saying it on a neutral ground, that if I knew that she had the, hey God, if I knew that she had the HR company, I would drag her. Not dragging her like in a negative way. I would just say, so you're a HR company, and you're saying that you could not hire one person from 2,000. My dear, your systems, and you know, a lot of people were telling her outrightly, your systems were bad. They were saying all that, but they didn't even know that she was a HR, and her company attends to helping to hire people. She didn't even know. The people who were dragging her on that light, even though they were few. So God have mercy on me. One of the girls who were in our community, right, now went to the comment section and says, please ma, say it oh. And now I just went on that her comment. I said she should say it, right? Let the algorithm push this. And I bet you your hirer will see this post and will not hire you. Once the person just hears that you're from Nigeria, it's over for you. When I went back there, I wanted to laugh. I wrote it that way, and I wanted to go back to that post to laugh. When I went back there, I did not see her comments again. So the next thing I saw was she was in my DM. She said, thank you, Dr. Vivian, for saving me. I didn't even think about it. Now, the thing that people don't know is that on LinkedIn, once you click on anybody, if you enter anybody's profile, once you click on comments, you see everything the person has said from the day he showed up on LinkedIn. That's why it's not like Twitter, where people will just say nonsense and go scot-free. Even people who want to hire you want to see your cognitive, how you relate with others, if the person is looking at long-term hires, I'm not talking about these funny people that probably will just set up interview and just be hiring anyhow. I'm talking about big companies like Fortune 500, serious companies. They'll just click on comments on your profile and they'll see all the conversations you've ever made. So those are the reasons why you should be very careful when you are coming up with controversial thing. And I wrote it outrightly for her. Madam, I know what this is about, and sincerely it was traffic my young lady was looking for. And it's unfortunate because you don't get those kind of growths are not good growth, because on LinkedIn you don't need traffic of, like, I don't know how to say it now, you don't need a traffic that you cannot use immediately. So I've told you guys, I've been saying this. I still used to see people's posts. Some of you will do social Saturday and you're after writing say, hey, introduce yourself, and that's all. There's no conversion for you. All LinkedIn traffics, like if somebody connects with you and doesn't receive your offer at that time of connection, right, there's no guarantee that the person will see your next post and your next post and your next post, especially if your dwell time on LinkedIn is low, except you have a high engagement ratio. That is when you can be sure that the person can see you. But if you're a person who is not into content writing, who is not a visibility growth expert, even me with my visibility self, I know they stay for LinkedIn like that because I'm thinking holistic. I don't just want to be somebody who would probably all about the traffic, and when you meet me you don't have anything. So I'm always learning one thing or the other every month. Every month I have something new to learn. So I really don't have time. Okay, plus my systems and all that I'm trying to build. So once you post and you have a post of 300 and you've not converted at least 100 or 200 from that post, you already lost them, because the possibility of them seeing your post again is very low, because tomorrow you might get busy. Maybe a client gets you working so hard, you have a project that you have to meet up, and you probably don't show up on LinkedIn for 3 days, 4 days. In fact, your engagement will cry. Like me, like this, I'm just watching my impressions go down, right? If I don't post tomorrow, another wahala. But despite your growth, so that's what I was looking at her in my mind. I was like, do you know that on LinkedIn, if you grow without purpose, you're just is a useless thing, because they don't even give a hoot about. See, it's Pastor Adeyemi now. Somebody even wrote it on his post one day. Pastor Adeyemi has about 100 and something thousand followers on LinkedIn, but because he's a star now, he's not always online like that. Some of his posts sometimes are less than 100 comments and like. So LinkedIn doesn't send your papa. I'll say it again so that you know, if you're not converting, if you don't find ways to always pitch yourself to collect your people, whether they are emails, whether they are tell them to fill a Google form, you have to learn it. Even when you've not started getting traffic yet, just form a habit of making sure that you have a call, a CTA that invites you to win people into your own community. Just make sure you do that. Okay, so I think we've been able to prepare. So today we had 2 assignments, your accounts, and then the second one we said you should have a budget. So we're going to have a to-do list. As a freelancer, what are the things that you think you need that will make your services excellent or different from other people's own? So that will be the assignment. Tomorrow we'll continue our financial management class. Then we'll go straight to pricing, and then, like we said, the ending part of the boot camp is already drawing near. Towards the end, we'll show up to just practice. If you've not done all your assignments, please go and do, especially if you're one of the speakers, one of the people who opted to speak. Please go and do all the assignments so that you don't embarrass me and you don't embarrass yourself too. I know that some of you I know the shame, but I'm begging you for my own sake, please be ashamed for me and try to do something. Okay, so do we have any questions for what we have taught this night? If we don't have any questions, I'll just call it a night so that we can all just go and rest. Tomorrow is church service. I mean, normally my church service 5, we're already up. 5 to 6, I told you guys 4 I have my bath. 5 to 6 devotion. 6 to 6:30 is church time for me, but we have a special event tomorrow. So normally on Sundays 5 p.m. GMT +1, because we want to form a habit of maintaining our event days. Because we'll soon be resuming back to our international meetings again. But I want all my systems set up before I start that again. So I still maintain the 5 p.m. GMT plus 1, so that those who are in the habit of coming around can consistently. So we'll continue our financial management class. We should do pricing tomorrow as a community. Then we'll now start our trainings from next week, because we barely have a few days to go. So please, if you're interested in speaking on our main event day, please just say something quick. I'm still considering maybe we should do June 8th so that we can have more time. But anyone that works for us, I'm thinking June 8th, because I also want to bring some of the top LinkedIn creators to be on the platform with you, so that when the flyer comes out, all of you, we have at least 2 weeks to be able to push the flyer and push the event, so we can have more people to come on ground. But if you are just joining, please do your wellness service. Just go to day one, carry book and biro, carry your notebooks, and start writing. Follow the trail of possible content, possible business, possible community. All these things, we gave you options in one. And today I think I stumbled on somebody who was selling just one part. Her own is content creation to business process. She was selling it. I think I saw her in one of our well-honored LinkedIn's platform. Was selling it for almost $500, and I was just saying, interesting. And I've taught people my life like this. I don't pour am to this place, and some people are still playing. What is don't play? You're gonna learn. Okay, so please, if you don't have any questions, we can just call it a night. So I'm looking. Check me out, guys. Is this girl not a hot babe? Please, people should be asking the question. So normally I'll just call 4 times. I know that there's usually network lag, but I can just do 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what kinds of questions do I start with when I have a free consultation? First of all, every time I jumped on those calls, I was always excited. Like, most times, if they are the bigger ones, like that means they have worked with people. Most times they'll be the one to tell you, how you doing? Good to see you on the street. You seem to be I'm probably meeting you for the first time. You say yes. So, but then, like I always told you guys, when we did our yesterday's meeting, we said research. So you research around the person. Just come from the person's last post. If the person has a last post, or if the person has a newsletter, you can just read it and can just tell the person that you got it. So you don't start with yourself. I've said it over and over again. It's the principle of life. If you're selfish, you don't get anything. So start with them, right? And start from knowledge. You start from the known to the unknown. And for you to have a known, you have to research. So you have to go back to their materials, any materials that they've pulled out. For those who didn't write any material, most times you will see that they have a website, right? You see that they have a website attached to their profile. You click on the website, go there, and just see what they do. Okay, so for me then, when I was going to get into events, I needed to meet with somebody who was into public speaking, and I did. One of the top voices. In fact, he teaches people to pitch, business speeches and everything. I just went from one of his posts and went, and he agreed to see me. One of the funniest thing was, he was now telling me was that, wait, do I have up to $5,000? Let's say if he wants to charge me around. My dear, a newbie will just enter LinkedIn. In my spirit, I was just laughing. Well, I just told him, of course, I don't think that's a major challenge right now. I just wanted to know how his story, what were his challenges up to this point. You want to get them to a vulnerable point so that you can have a lasting impression with them. You can, maybe from their frustrations, let's say they posted about frustration, so you can just say, we actually saw, I noticed from your last post that you were super frustrated about a client or something. Please, can you just I hope you've been able to fix that. And if the person says, of course, you can now say, please, could you just share a little bit about how you got to this point? Because let me tell you, there are victories in people's stories, because that's literally what could change your life. Maybe when the person just tells you one thing, and then that's the one that will finally stick, and then you start building. So for me, that day when I just heard what the guy was doing with public speaking, I knew. So I even told you guys, even in this community, that if you're a person who does not speak publicly, That's all I can tell you, right? For the sake of this night and the fact that we're almost coming to our closing time. So if we have any question, oh yes, I've answered. I just answered it now. So do we have any other question? If we don't have any further questions, you know, as my manner is, I'm gonna count to 1 from 4, and then we give it applause. So I hope you guys learned well and a lot. Just let me know how the classes was for you, especially today. Let me get a little feedback and then we go. And I understand that there's delayed time, so I'm sorry, I might not be able to fix that. I might be seeing it much more later when you reply, but just make an attempt. Brenda, I hope I was able to answer your question. So go from the known to the unknown. Research what the person already has out there, and meet the person with their own information. It's the best compliment you can give anyone in the world. Like, if the person finds out that you went and you did background search about the person, that's what makes presenters like stand out. And check. For me, that's one thing I consume a lot. I consume a lot of, on this YouTube, I consume a lot of interviews. Hey, the videos interview, jeez, and a few other excellent people. Denzel Washington. When you see them talk, and there was this other guy, Alex Hamorzi, you just say, so this is how easy this thing is. Okay, awesome. So when you now imagine that I'm meeting Alex Hamorzi, I'm not gonna be talking to him as though that's the first time I'm meeting him, and somebody will now say, please, can I meet you? You booked my call. Hey God, that's what I know, that some people are mad. Like, you booked my call and you're telling me, please, can I meet you? Like, are you okay? You booked my call. So even if it's a free call, doesn't mean that you should be freely silly. So make sure, please research. When you come to the person, start saying, sir, I saw that you were able to, you did this thing last week, you did an interview last week with the governor, how did it go? The person will be like, oh my goodness, that's fire going somewhere to happen. Okay, so I think we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. See you tomorrow, 5 p.m. GMT +1. I celebrate you. So I'm going to be ending the live in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Please invite your friends. Let's help their journeys as well. Do have an amazing night.